Good evening. Welcome to Feel Good Talk Love 101. I'm your host, Charles Brickley, along with the host of Love 101, my man, Naeem Najib. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm well. How you doing, Charles? How's everybody doing out there?
Hey, man, I'm doing great, man. I can't complain. Not too bad out there today. It's thawing out a little bit, so I'm looking forward to the spring and definitely summer. So, that's the I'm
I
a
know.
Scorpio. I love the heat, man. I love the heat. So
Yeah. No, you're a hot weather person. So
yes, sir. So what we're gonna do, man? We're gonna take a commercial break. This is the A Game. This is our sponsor for tonight, and we'll come right back. The A Game. Here we go.
yes.
And that is the A Game. Great for vitality, energy, strength, and libido. And if you want your free sample, give me a call 302-723-2836. Again, 302-723-2836 to get your free sample of the A Game. This is for men only, ladies. Awesome product. So what we getting into tonight, Naeem?
Well, let's get right into it. What do y'all want to talk about when
There
it
you
comes
go.
to human beings and our relationships and toxic relationships, healthy relationships, all that? And I'm just going to jump right into it and give you an idea of what we're working with here when we talk about the facts of love and fear. So this will give you a model for how to think about relationships to determine if you are in fact in a healthy or unhealthy relationship or relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, I don't mean just a romantic relationship. I mean any relationship that has these factors would be a healthy or toxic relationship. So let's start with the toxic. So what are toxic relationships based on? Based on fear and
Mm-hmm.
force. And what are healthy relationships based on, Charles?
No, I love freedom. Freedom, definitely.
No. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
we going down the line. Facts, FACTS.
Mm-hmm.
And for toxic relationships, what's going on in there? You got attack, you got your run of the mill abuse, and your side order of anger. So what do we got with healthy relationships?
I love appreciation. So there you go. Appreciation.
Appreciation, can't go wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say, you know what? You know what? You're such an amazing person. I appreciate you. Thank you for being in my life. What you say about me? What you say? It's probably not going to be it's probably not
Right.
going to get an angry response from that, right?
Mhm.
Anyway, moving on. Toxic relationships are rooted in conflict, confusion, and control. By control, what do we mean? We mean one person trying to control another person, one adult trying to
Mhm.
control another adult.
Mhm.
And that is the opposite of first thing Charles says, which was freedom, meaning you're free to do what you want to do. We're not talking about minors here. We're not talking about children, people in your
Right.
care. We're talking about adults who are emancipated and
Mhm.
free to live their own lives. If you're trying to control someone or someone's trying to control you, that's an expression of insanity and toxicity. So what do
Mhm.
we have on the other side though for love,
This,
aka
this
healthy?
is one of my favorites, man. Communication,
Yes.
clarity, care, and compassion.
Mm.
Love it.
And all of that can be like if you look across, how do you deal with conflict? Communication. How do you deal with confusion? Clarity.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you deal with control? Well, don't do that and have care and compassion.
There you
And you can have clear, compassionate communication as well. And because sometimes people think that any kind of talk, jibber jabber is
go.
communication. But if you yelling and back and forth at each other and throwing stuff, pots and pans at each other, that's not communication. That's attack. That's an argument. You could also
Right.
put arguing under A as well.
Mhm.
And my question to anybody listening, what else would you say, things that are not listed here, that are elements of a healthy relationship or a toxic relationship? Because this is not the whole list. This is just
Mm,
the elements, the principles. So when you
mhm,
have any of these things come up, you can see that the relationship is leaning toward healthy or toxic.
mm,
So he said that communication, clarity, care, and compassion. So now the next thing we have is trauma or and triggers. So when you bring your past trauma into a relationship and you're constantly using that to trigger yourself to, let's go back up the line, attack somebody, try to
mm,
force somebody to do something, abuse someone, have conflict, try to control someone. The triggers always come up as a defense mechanism to try to protect and preserve your self identity, which your
mhm,
identity may not be the healthiest thing. You could see yourself as a victim, as a, I'm an abusee. I'm a, my history is one of a string of toxic relationships. That's not who you are. That's just what you've experienced.
mhm,
If you have had cancer, or forget cancer, even a stomach ache,
mhm,
are you the stomach ache? Are you the headache? Are you the migraine? Or
mm.
are you experiencing that? Right? It's
Right,
not your identity. It's just something that you're going through. And so sometimes we get traumatized, whereas that's the thing about human beings. Human beings will experience something and then just relive it 1,000 times through telling stories. Where if it's, another type of animal, like a
mhm,
cat or a dog or whatnot, it'll go through it and it'll get over it and move
right,
on. We're like, I gotta keep. You don't see the cat talking about, man, you remember that time you didn't feed me 3 weeks ago?
mhm,
I need a therapist now.
uh-huh,
2 weeks
right,
ago, you didn't feed me. They don't drag that stuff. We like, you got food? All right, I'm eating the food right now.
right, exactly.
We want to talk about what happened 30 years ago. We want to talk about what happened to even 3 minutes ago. Again, you can
Mhm.
resolve things and move forward now.
That's
And
right,
you
that's
don't
right.
always need the other person's participation, unless it's a physical, financial, or other form of abuse that is directly impacting you.
Mhm,
The emotional trauma that we deal with, and we're all emotionally traumatized, by the way.
mhm,
So this is not about measuring whose trauma is greater.
right,
We all have had abuse and trauma happen to us, every single one of us. The thing is now, are you going to let it control you? Are you going to let it define you? Or, as my teacher says, are you going to let it refine you? Meaning,
mm,
are you
I like
going to use that as a lesson to become greater than that? Or are you
mhm,
going to constantly get to the level of the trauma that you were on and live from that?
mhm,
Man, you introduce yourself. Hey, how you doing, Charles? Like, okay, how you doing? What's your name? I'm Naeem, and I'm a survivor of domestic abuse. I'm a domestic abuse. I was domestically abused. That's what I am. Right?
mhm,
Like, no, that's something you've been through, which
right,
maybe
right,
puts you in a position to help someone else. That's not
mhm,
who you are. You're a lot more than that.
mhm.
So moving on. So, oh wait, we didn't do the love side. So, what's the healthy side of that?
We have trust and truth.
Yes.
Mhm,
And finally, toxic relationships always resort to separation. Remember, as
mhm,
soon as something's wrong, oh, I gotta separate, gotta get away. I'm gonna
right,
block your number. I'm gonna separate, ghost you, whatever. Suspicion. What you
mhm,
doing? Where you going? What happened? I was just going to bathroom. All right,
mhm,
well, I don't know what you're doing in there. Leave the door open.
mhm.
Suspicion, shame,
Mhm,
and shame is guilt, like you guilt tripping someone.
right, right,
I don't know. I wish you would come to my event. I know you have other things to do, but I just hope you remember all the times I came to all of your events and supported you front row, cheerleading all the way for you. Too bad I don't have anyone to cheerlead for me, but wish it was you. But I mean, I know you got stuff to do, but
Mhm,
oh, so sad that you can't just show up for one time for me, just one time, and I show up for you every time. But I don't. Nobody's talking about the past.
mhm.
So sad. No, all of that. That's 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 toxic. So,
Right. So,
man,
hey,
this.
the
Go
good
ahead.
yeah, the, love side is sincerity, surety, and security. There you go.
Indeed, I'm gonna take this down. We can get to some comments. and see what y'all want to talk about.
Yeah, I got a question for the audience too, man. What is your favorite? Maybe you don't have anything to add to the facts, but what is your favorite fact? Mine is communication, and we'll get into that a little after we get through the comments here. So let's see what we got here. We got Izzy meditates. Oh, she's over on YouTube. What's going on, Izzy? She says hello, Facebook fan. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in, Izzy. We appreciate you. We got Amy. She says, good evening, Feel Good Talk family. What's going on, Amy? We got my man Tyrone Ricks is in the house. He says 10 of life is tuned in. Y'all always tuned in, baby. You know what I mean? He also says, what up, brother Charles Brakely and the Love Doctor? Yes.
Going on, Tyrone Ricks?
Then he goes on to say hello to Amy, and he's saying hello to Izzy. So you got that out there. So Izzy Meditate says a healthy relationship should have connection. I believe a relationship can have connection to the fullest if there is freedom, appreciation, communication, trust, truth, etc. I like that, Izzy. I like that. Yes, indeed.
So
You
let's
want to
let's let's
elaborate on that,
pause.
love doctor?
Yeah, let's pause there for a second. So, how
Mhm.
do you connect? Like, how do you connect in freedom with someone? And this is just a personal question to anyone. Like, how
Right.
do you connect?
Hmm.
How might one, if we don't want to make it personal, how might one connect in freedom? How might one connect with someone in appreciation? And what is connection? Y'all know I go deep into stuff. I don't just talk
Hmm.
about surface level. So when you talk about connection, I'm gonna just put a general idea out there. It is some level of mutual uh, engagement with another person.
Hmm.
Mutual, meaning I say hello, you say hello. I
Hmm.
wave, you wave. Even if we're just in traffic and we wave, like that's a brief connection. But can
Right.
we deepen that, right? A
Hmm.
connection. You ride an elevator with someone. Hey, how was your day? Hey, could you push floor number 5? That's a connection. But is a connection always in freedom, appreciation, communication, right? Because you can have connections that are toxic, right? Can't you have
Right.
connections that are abusive, connections
Hmm.
that are full of conflict, of
That's right.
confusion, connections that are not sincere, connections that are suspicious of you and all that. So you can
Hmm.
be connected, meaning you mutually acknowledge each other, but it may not be in the same spirit or the same energy, whatever you want to call what we have here in these principles. It may not be in that, your connection may not be of care. It may be of conflict, right?
Right.
We have like the people say they have love hate relationships and they
Mhm.
fight and they argument all the time.
Yeah.
That's a connection in conflict, in toxicity. It's a toxic connection. In
Mhm.
other Then you can have connections that are full of appreciation, of freedom, of willingness. Like for example, everyone here, except for that person that I guilt tripped, is here because they want
Right. Right.
because they want to be here, because
Mhm.
they feel like this is how they would like to um spend their February 2nd, 2022, which is 22222, by the way, which is a
Mhm.
fun number to play with. This is our 22222 show. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's because y'all want to, not because you have to, not because you're being paid to, not because you're being guilt tripped to, not because someone else told you to, or
Right.
because someone's threatening violence to you or harm to your family if you don't. It's because you want. That's freedom. So that's an example of we're connecting on this platform
Right.
freely.
Mhm.
That's not necessarily what you do at your job. That's not a free connect. Like that's not. It's a connection, and it can be out of appreciation, but it's transactional. Remember we talked about that before. This is
Mhm.
not a transactional relationship. This is a free relationship we're having now.
Right.
Transactional relationship is where you show up in that place, in that space with that person or people because you're bringing some kind of value and receiving some kind of value. That's why. You know,
Right. Right.
you're being paid for a certain skill, service, a product, etc. And that's okay. That's where most of our relationships are based in. If you think about the number of people, you can probably count on your hands the number of people that you want in your house just to sit down and chill with and talk to, or that you could be doing anything else and you just get on the phone and talk to them just out of nowhere, or
Mhm.
Zoom chat or FaceTime. There's probably not that many people that you connect with like that. It's probably more
Right.
people in your life that you say, oh, I'm waiting for my delivery. When is it going to get here? Right, that's a
Mhm.
transaction. Oh, I want to order this food on the menu. That's a transaction. All of
Mhm.
those, mostly we have those relationships as humans, and that's normal.
Mhm.
Just saying, you can have a connection that is healthy or unhealthy. So let's
There you
get to
go.
the rest of those comments because I see
Yes,
y'all talking.
indeed. Yes, they talking. My man Will Dickinson, he says, Charles Baker Naeem fired. Hey, thanks, Will. Thanks for tuning in, brother. We appreciate you, man. Amy also says Izzy meditates all the way from Maldives, celebrating my. Oh, go ahead now, 50th. Hey, happy 50th, Amy. Shout out to you. 50 years young. My man Robert Dickinson, top of the day, family. What's going on, Rob? Thanks for tuning in. And we have Joy lives within. She's tuning in all the way. Well, she's on YouTube. She's tuning in. She says my
All the
favorite
way from YouTube.
is is appreciation. Some people don't know how to receive it because they've been made to believe that they should be doing things. But I like to appreciate because nothing is obligated. Exactly.
Let's pause on that one. That's a good one. Thank you,
Yeah.
Joy that lives
Yes, it
within,
is.
because when you think about how we're conditioned, aka
Mhm.
nurtured as human
Right.
beings in society, we're conditioned to think that appreciation has to be earned by what you do. Look at. I'm speaking like a 2-year-old today, but they know how to say no. Got to give them credit. They call them the
That's
terrible
right.
twos, but it's not too terrible. They're just learning to exert their individuality into life. And you
Right.
know where they get that. I'm going on a tangent intentionally, but I'll come back to you. Joy lives within. You can learn something from 2 year olds. You wonder why is their first word always no? Why are they saying no? Why always saying
Mhm.
no? Just to make you be like trying to give them something they want. They'd be like, no, like, but you want that. You were just eating it. Like,
You
you
know
know
why,
what?
Naeem? Is easier to say than yes. Think about it.
Yes. It's also no, Charles. I'm gonna just say no just because I can't. It's
Right.
also because the parents, it's your fault. It's the parents' fault.
Right.
It's
Right.
the people who are teaching them because you don't realize that toddlers, infants, 2 year olds, they're gonna get into stuff. So they're gonna be touching stuff. You're like, what's this? You're like, no, take that out your hand. They'd be like, what? So then they like, oh, what's this? No, get it out of here. And you're
Right.
like, where you? No, come back over here. No, what are you doing? Stop. No. And so what they learn from you. And
Mhm.
then you're like, oh, you catch them doing their first steps, and then their first words, you're like, you want the this here? You want that? They're like, no. Like, where did you get that from? Got it from you. That's where they got it from. Because you keep telling them no.
That's right. Don't do that. Stop. Stop. Come here. No.
Stop. Yeah.
No.
Get off of there.
Not this,
No.
man.
You know?
Yeah, because they explore, man. They go through all kinds, them twos, man. They go through, cabinets and all kinds of touching stuff they're supposed to. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You said they're not supposed to, and they say what? No.
Exactly.
So
So
going back to the comment, so
yeah, there you go.
appreciation, look at what we have to do to get some kind of appreciation. We got to imagine somebody said, look, Charles, you want my appreciation? You got to stay up all night, most months of the year. You have to do things you don't want to do. You have to not get enough sleep. You have to not make a full living wage. You have to spend 4 years doing this. And if you do it well, I'll show up for a few hours and I'll give you appreciation. And I'm talking about like a school, like college
Right,
experience,
right.
right? Like so
Mhm,
you don't get appreciated for going to college, right? You get
mhm,
appreciated for graduating,
mhm.
maybe, right? It was like, well, when are you gonna get to your master's? You're like, no. So like, but think about it, like all of the pomp and circumstance we go through to get our family involved and all our community to come. We go and walk down and or a wedding or these sorts of events, or you're getting honored for being the best employee of the month or the whatever the case, and everybody has to make a whole event of it just to appreciate you one time. You put
Right, right.
all this energy in to get appreciated one time, maybe for one day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays, out of the year, right? And first, you got to be a mother and father. Not everybody out there are mothers and fathers too, right?
Right, right,
There's
right.
no child
Mhm.
day. Oh well, here's the day for being born. Oh, I guess that's a birthday, right? Well, let's
Yeah.
call it Child Day. It's because I'm a child because I was born. my born. I was born, so there we go. But
Right, right.
anyway, what if we could that feeling? Well, let me just set the tone. What if that feeling you felt when you did graduate, you did, do really well, you did outperform, you did was the whoever of the month, and someone acknowledged you and said, "Wow, I see all the work you did. I appreciate you. I'm proud to call you my fill in the blank."
Mhm.
And imagine, you felt how good that felt, right? And the
Right.
pictures you took and the smiles you had and the food you ate after and the good conversation. Imagine if you could just have that every day,
Mm,
right? Imagine if you didn't have to go into debt for it.
mm,
Imagine if you could just say, "You know what, Charles, I want to express appreciation to you right now. Do you want to receive it right now
mhm,
from me?
mhm.
You
Yeah,
do for real? Because I'm being for real."
yeah, go ahead.
All right, so he about to go off camera. He's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
God.
but no. So I'm gonna say three things I appreciate about you right now. So this is part of appreciation practice. I can say, Charles Brakely, I appreciate that you are a hard worker
Mhm.
and that you're a business owner and entrepreneur and that you're a very generous person. I appreciate that about you. Those are three things I appreciate. And that's genuine. And I mean that. And that's only three out of many. But I'm saying you can say that to someone, say
Wow.
whatever it is that you feel in your heart that you appreciate at any time. It
Mhm.
doesn't even have to be, you know how I always kind of end with the appreciation practice. What do you appreciate about yourself? What do you appreciate
Right.
about me? What do you appreciate about each other? You don't have to do all that.
Mhm.
What if you just out of the blue said, "Hey, you know something I appreciate about you?" As a question. And they say,
Mhm.
"What?" And go ahead and share some appreciation with them.
Mhm.
That's a
That's
gift,
awesome.
a
That's
blessing,
yes, indeed. But,
and
now
it trains us to receive it. Because
yeah,
like Joy Lives Within says, it's hard for people to receive it. But go
yeah.
ahead.
But see, we live in the times like that. Like if you say something like that, they're like, "Oh, this guy's, what's the matter with him, or what's the matter with her? Why would she say something like that?" You know what I mean? It's just the world we live in now. They can't, they don't appreciate being appreciated. You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, it's
Yeah.
deep. I mean, even I mean, I know I'm off the subject now because even if you go speak to someone, right? Back in the day when I was coming up, it was always great to say, "Hello, how are you doing?" or hold the door, whatever. "Hello," whatever. Nowadays, it's like if you say hi to somebody, like, "Well, what are you trying to set me up? What's going on here?" So it's the change of the times too, and it's sad, but
And
it is what it
people
is.
are, you know what it is? People are preoccupied with their past thoughts.
Mhm.
They see only the past. Like maybe somebody appeared to be friendly to them and then they had some ulterior motive. And
Right,
then
right,
they're
right.
dragging that and
Mhm,
projecting it onto you.
mhm,
And that's why it's good to know the truth. Here's a principle. If
mhm,
y'all learn this principle, you'll be so empowered that no one can mess with you and guilt trip you or hurt you emotionally ever
mhm.
again.
Right.
And I'm about to, y'all want to know what it is? You want to know what it is, John?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Right after these, and we're back. So
Oh man.
to be empowered and to
Mhm,
not have your feelings, quote unquote, hurt by anyone, it's important to realize that whatever comes out of somebody's mouth, whatever their actions are, whatever their
mhm.
thoughts are about you, have nothing to do with you.
Right.
Okay, it has
Yep.
nothing to do with you. Imagine. Here's an easy example. Imagine that you're walking a dog. It doesn't even have to be your dog. You're just walking a dog down the
Right.
street, and then someone sees you, and their eyes get big, and then they cross to the other side of the street. You're like, "What's wrong? I was just waving." Maybe that person had a past traumatic encounter with a dog, and it had nothing to do with you or your dog or you walking the dog. But they saw that they got afraid, and what did they do? Separated. They
Right.
fled the
Mhm,
scene and it has nothing to do with you. The same thing is if someone says something about you that's not loving, it has nothing to do with you. And it's important to remember that because when you take it personally, then it doesn't help it doesn't help you feel good.
mhm.
So remember that nothing anyone does has anything to do with you. There's my empowering thought of the night. Thanks for
There
listening.
you go, brother. Awesome. All right, let's see. Let's see where we gonna start because we got a lot of comments. We got Izzy Meditate. She says, "I believe connection Is that to be able? What is that? Is be able to? You
Please,
got
please
yeah,
go back to that, Izzy,
yeah.
because
We
I
have to
don't
come back
understand.
to that. Joy lives within says nothing is obligated in love. Hmm,
Thank you.
like that. She says, "Oh, what's up, K? K for toys. What's going on, lady?" She says, "I love this conversation. I'm tuned in, Chuck. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks,
Definitely
King.
appreciate that. Yes, indeed." And let's go down. Let me try to get some of these comments that still got a lot of people talking to each other. So we got Izzy Meditate. She says a connection is made when two individuals can be themselves and are able to give each other a choice to accept one another in love.
That don't sound like any connection, Izzy. That sounds like a healthy connection.
Actually, there you go.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Izzy. Go ahead,
And,
Izzy.
and
Take it
let me do the reverse of that real quick, just to
down.
balance it out. A connection is also made, a not a toxic connection is also made when two individuals bring their representatives and are
Oh, tell
trying
me
to
about
force each other to adapt to what they want from the other person, or else they'll be attacked and abused for not conforming.
it. Yep.
There you go.
Lead those representatives home, please. And
Not
we got
customer
Pamela
service line.
West. What's up, lady? She says, Hey, you
Thank
guys, what's
you, my
going
love.
on, lady?" And she says, all the way from YouTube world, Joy lives within. I love your comment. Okay, cool.
It's
Let's
funny, social media people act like it's a whole different galaxy. Like, wow, you're on
yeah.
YouTube? Like, it's the same. It's on the
Amy says, that's good, Joy.
hilarious.
But Timala West says, I appreciate people for just being alive in this world. You got that right. As much as we went through last year and this year and the year before that, and some of this year is crazy. She also says, let's see, mimicking children will embarrass some people. Laugh out loud, hilarious. She also says, holidays. Oh my goodness, I like to show appreciation whenever or just for nothing. It feels great to be appreciated for being a person. Yes,
How
it does.
about that? You
Yep.
know, another thing that reminded me,
What's up?
Joy lives within comment that people, and this is just tragic, the tragic, not even comedy of it, but how you see that we when we choose to really show up and appreciate people. And I'm gonna just leave it as a question. When I'm not even gonna say in your life, but when is it that you see a bunch of people that was in a person's life show up to speak words about their life and their good times and how great they were as a person, and how I think I gave it away because I said how they
Yep,
were,
yep,
and
yep, yep,
and to bring gifts and to bring condolences. Y'all already know what I'm talking about.
yep,
So you gotta
exactly.
wait till you die.
Yep, yep,
People
yep.
come through with the real appreciation. That's
Mhm.
why I don't. If somebody want to fake their death and just show up at their own funeral, I think that's a great experience to give yourself. That's the only time you're probably gonna get everybody in the same place to say loving things,
Yep,
unless
yep,
of
yep.
course we do something like this, or we're doing virtually, and we just express love because we want to. But on ordinary circumstances, yeah, people
Mhm,
gotta wait to the end when the person can't even be there to receive it
mhm,
to share their true appreciation. Like, I haven't heard from them in 10 years. Like, what? So and
mm,
so passed. They were such a great person. Such a great person. Yeah, but
mhm.
they told me that y'all had a falling out and they couldn't
Right.
stand the sound of your voice. They made the best chicken pot pie ever. I love their cooking. They were so great. I mean, I could tell you back when we were kids and we used to so
Uh,
many memories. Oh my God. But if they were alive and you put them on the phone, it's like, hey, who's this? Oh, it's you? You bad
yep,
mama Gemma? So and so
yep,
and so. Don't call this phone.
yep.
Click.
That's
But
true.
then somebody else goes, okay, you know what happened? Oh, my heart goes out.
Mhm.
And I'm not making fun of anybody, but I also am making fun of it because it's like I'm just trying to put on notice everyone that you don't have to wait until that happens to show appreciation.
That's
Okay.
right.
You don't just because when someone becomes an ancestor, right? You don't have to wait until then to honor them. You can honor them now, even if it's just sending them a loving thought, someone you know now,
Right.
is still alive. And we have the technology, y'all, that we can do it from the comfort of our own homes. How about this? I'm somewhat of student of
Mhm.
human beings. And I'll tell you this, if you are able to if you're able to view this program right now, either live or pre-recorded, you are in some of the, first of all, 50% of the people on the planet don't have access to Wi-Fi, don't even have a smartphone or a computer. So you're
Mm.
already in the top 50%. But even beyond that, all right, to have the time, the luxury that you don't have to be, walking to the well for 3 miles to get water, that you got shoes, that you have transportation, that you have warmth if you're in a cold environment, to sit down and listen to this at your leisure.
Right,
You're
right.
in the top 10 percentile of people on the planet. And you have so much to be grateful for. Just if you're able to listen to this and participate, or even not participate, but just tune into this show. You have so much to be grateful for. So I just want to bring attention to that, that we have so much to appreciate about ourselves and about others. We don't have to wait till the end.
That's
All right.
right, man. Exactly. We got somebody appreciate. We got Fatima. She says, "I appreciate Izzy meditate for her uplifting content, for her
Yes.
support of all of us." Yes, indeed.
Izzy,
Izzy.
yeah, thank you, Izzy and Cassandra.
And William Dixon said, Naeem, I appreciate that you simplify a subject that most people make complex.
Thank
Exactly.
you, William. You know,
Yes.
my goal is to use less words. Like somebody's like, we're about to have a panel discussion. We have 5 panelists from all corners of the earth. So and so here, PhD in human science, sociology. This one here in psychology. This one here, and this and that, and so and so. And we have Naeem Najib, the love doctor, and everybody gives their dissertation. Say, so what is love? And then 10 minutes later, next person. So you have 20 minutes. You have the floor. I'll be like, look, I'll give y'all 10 seconds. Love is freedom. Love is appreciation. Love is communication. Love is trust. Love is sincerity. Let me.
There you go.
I don't gotta stay here and talk about it. You like
Right.
this is not a
Hmm.
pedantic.
Right, right.
Let's talk, like, let's go back and forth about what you think and I think. How about we
Mhm.
just, since we have the ability and the power of decision as humans to co-create an experience together, how about for the duration of this conversation, we come to an agreement that love is, when we refer to the word love, freedom, appreciation, communication, trust, sincerity, right? And go from there. So if you love someone, you appreciate them, right?
Mhm.
Doesn't necessarily mean you got to be married to them. And yet you still can be married to them and appreciate them. Or you cannot be married to them and appreciate them, because we're saying that love is more all encompassing, right? And and if you, unless you got something else, because I'm not saying that that's what love, that's
Mhm.
the only definition that's available, or that I'm not open to anything else. This is a conversation. I'm just saying I offer that for the conversation for the purpose of clarity, because love is clarity.
Mhm.
And if you got something better, throw it, bring it in.
Hey,
Trust me,
Naeem, you gave
bring
him
it in.
the foundation, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's basic. Like I said, this is basic mathematics. 1 + 1 = 2. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, a kid can understand what you put down. You know, it's not when you ask somebody about love and they, oh, love is this, love hurts, love, all this crazy stuff. At the end of the day, you simplified it. So now, it makes it elementary for anybody to learn it. Everybody can understand, the facts, freedom, appreciation, communication, trust, and sincerity. I mean, it's real simple stuff. If you know you're not free, then you know you're in a toxic relationship. If you're not appreciated, then it's real simple. If you're not communicating, then you're toxic. Then if you're not, trusting, toxic. Sincerity, you're not toxic. So it's real simple stuff. And if hopefully, I don't know, does that simplify that for everybody? Everybody there, let us know. Is this working for you? Did you
Yeah.
change any perspective of love? Like your thoughts of love, what love was, since you've been listening to Love 101? Talk to us.
Yeah. Does anybody
Mhm.
ever say? Has anybody ever
Right.
said that to anyone in a conversation? Like, "Hey, love is free." Like,
Mhm.
use the. I'm just curious because I
Right.
like
I've corrected many people. You understand what I'm saying?
to.
So, at the end of the day, I sit up here and I absorb all the stuff that you take in, that you're giving to me, Naeem. So again, you know, I love it. I learn every day I'm on here. And that's why I appreciate you, brother. You're sincere. You know what I'm saying? You're
Oh,
you know,
I see what you're doing. You saying I'm communicating, Charles?
you're the facts, baby. You're the facts,
Yeah, so you said you love it, you appreciate it.
Right, right,
How you
right, right.
communicating? No, you
Exactly.
sneaking it in. All right.
Let's get back to the comments. We got so many. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Here we
Yeah.
go. Fatimala West says, some people mistake appreciate. She must mean appreciate. Mistake appreciation for a pass.
I think I
Ex-
understand what you mean.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, I understand what you're saying. And K for Toy says that's no excuse to be rude. She actually said this when I was talking about the way the times are now, how people are,
Yeah.
everything changed around. So, and that's true. You're right. Also, Fatimala West says, I appreciate William Dickerson for his fun and entertaining performances. Yeah,
I
we had some
appreciate
times,
you, brother.
Will. Yes, we do. Oh my God, Lord have mercy. So let's see. And Izzy says, thank you, Fatimala. She says that warms her heart. Oh. And let's go on down. Amy says, Fatima West, he is so funny. Will, you getting your rap, Will. Everybody on it, baby. And let's see. She also says, Fatima, he's funny. We love him. Yes, we do. And she says, I make it a habit to show as much appreciated as I can. I want people to know how I feel, what I feel, and I don't want to miss an opportunity to do that. And that's true. That's true for Tim. I try to do the same thing. I let them know what's going on. You know what I mean? And let everybody know how much I appreciate them. And I show it, versus waiting until it's too late. And she says that we were talking about where does people usually give all of their,
Right.
appreciation is that, and she's right, funerals. And we talked about that. Amy's
And
on it as well.
can
Hmm.
we just, for English's sake,
Go ahead.
someone explain why we pronounce the word funeral when it's clearly got fun in it? Isn't it supposed to be funeral? Is it? Is that just me?
Hmm.
Because I think when you say funeral, then it makes it more depressing. It's like I'm going to the funeral. Like I'm going to
You know
the.
what? Man, that's true because it is spelled.
It's
Yeah,
supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a
funeral.
celebration of life. I don't want
Funerals.
nobody coming to
Funeral.
my
There you
funeral
go.
being sad and miserable. I mean, grieve,
Right.
but don't be feeling fear, attack, conflict, trauma, and separation, because it's supposed to be a celebration of life.
Right.
So my request is, if there is a funeral, don't call it that. Call it a funeral. All right.
Hmm.
Anyway, let's keep
And
going.
that's true. Like I said, some people don't want to, grieve. They want to have fun. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I DJ some repasses before and they wanted to actually have a good time. And they had a good time. We had a good time. It was a little weird, kind of different, but at the same time, some people want to be celebrated. So um, also for K for Toy says you can have a connection with a person on different levels: intellectual, sexual, spiritual, etc.
Mm,
There you go.
thank you.
Yes, do we appreciate that? Fatima West says, I said this is my stepfather. She said, I said this at my stepfather's funeral. I was listening like, oh my goodness, I wish he could have known how he affected people's lives and how they appreciated him. Yeah, that's true.
There's no. Go ahead, Joe.
Now you see that a lot. You'll see people saying, like you said, Naeem, they give them all the props and praises now. And you hear people say, give them their flowers now where they're living. But I wonder why that is. I really
Well,
do.
I
Like,
mean,
why?
yeah.
No,
Realistically, the gathering for the person in the family of the
right.
deceased is for the people in there. Like it's for everyone else, really.
Right, right,
It
right.
doesn't take much to dispose of a body, someone's
Hmm.
body. Like it doesn't have to be all the ceremony. The
Right, right.
funeral, the repast, the viewing, the burial, those are ceremonies that we have, and different cultures have different kinds of ceremonies for it. Some, you know, have a miserable time, some have, a
Hmm.
jolly time, like you said. Some people celebrate, some people experience it in different ways. But the ceremony is more so for the people that are living. I
Right,
mean, what is it? You put them in a 24 karat gold casket, and then you can't got a padlock on your door from the marshals because they're like, you
right,
evicted because you can't afford your rent. Like, what? I don't
right.
think they would want that for you, right?
Right.
So anyway, yeah, it's ceremonial, and there's no judgment on how anyone celebrates or
Right.
memorializes their
Hmm.
loved ones. My This all started back from Joy Lives Within's comment about appreciation, and can we have our appreciation now and after? Because it is heartwarming to know how someone you loved affected other people that you may not even have met or known,
Right.
or how it's good to know that and to experience
Mhm.
that. But also, don't hold back your gifts of appreciation. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give in this life.
Mhm. Exactly. And we got for Timla now. Don't jinx yourself now. She said, I'm having a funeral next week. You all are invited now. Come on
Yeah.
now.
You see that one person with
Uh,
the masks like this and like that, and just the eyes showing, we know
right.
it's you.
We got Amy. She says, oh, she was sweet, but she owed me $2. Yes, indeed. And for Timberland West also says, misspelled words, etc. Blah, 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 blah. Remember, this is not English class, so don't say nothing. Laugh. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We know you don't believe in punctuations. I'm surprised you put them
Uh,
periods in there.
said she's
But
stuck at work. This is what she's gonna go with. She's stuck at work for a few hours. That's cool. We got Fee King. She says, maybe it's not simple if your environment was normalized toxicity. You're right. You're right. Normalized toxicity. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
yeah, if your environment normalizes toxicity, then
Right.
like you said earlier, Chuck, you think love is pain, love
Oh,
hurt,
yep.
love because the people that's been in my life the whole time has been
Yeah.
beating my behind. So that must be what love is, right? Because they say they love me afterwards.
Right. Right.
And so if I'm not either beating someone's behind or getting my behind beat, then it's not love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not though, by the way.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, it's not love. Trust me. But Taylor West says people complicate it, consciously and unconsciously. Yes, they do. We got Fee King. She also says, I have had men, wait a minute. I have and men had misinterpreted my need to be free while in a relationship as a need, desire to be with other men. Ooh, okay, this is getting interesting. I think those are signs of insecurity. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
this is where, to me, this is where the communication comes into play. You know what I mean? You have to communicate this from the door. Now, did you communicate this, Fee King, from the door, or did you wait until you got in a relationship and then all of a sudden say, you know what, I want to do this A, B, C? I think it's very important, and that's why people need to leave their representatives home and just be straight up with the person. You know what I mean? So that's just my 2 cents. I don't know. Give us something on that.
no, that's a thank you for that
Mhm.
personal testimony, B King, because it's like saying, let's say I have something. Hey, do you want to? I'm offering you this. Do you want to drink this? And you're like, no, I'd rather not drink that. It's like, so does that mean you want to go to the sewer and drink sewage water and not what I'm giving you because you don't care about me, you don't love me, you don't trust me because you don't take. Well, maybe I'm just don't want it, right? How about that? But
Mhm.
remember we said earlier, whatever is coming out of someone else's mouth, their intentions, their actions, what does it have to do with you, Fee, and everybody?
Mhm.
Absolutely nothing. It has zero to do with you. So if they want to interpret your freedom, it's not even a need to be free as much as it is your inherent freedom. You already are free. How you express that is your choice because you're free.
Mhm.
They may, or whoever may, whatever their deepest fear and insecurity is, it's like, oh, you want to be free. That means automatically you want to run away with all the copper pipes in my house.
Mhm.
I just trying to be the most ridiculous thing I can say, right?
Right,
Because
right,
you
right.
can actually do that with your freedom. You can be like, "So, this is a nice copper pipes you got here," and then
Mhm.
you can you can go and take the because you're free to steal copper pipes out of people's houses.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that's what you're gonna do. So if you like, "Hey, Fee, yeah, it's great knowing you. You want to be free?" And I'm like, "That means you want to take my copper pipes?" Ah, no, no. See, but how
Mhm.
much more sense does it make to say fill in the blank? Freedom means you taking my copper pipes to it meaning you want to be with other men or desire to
Right.
be or whatever the case. It's fill in the blank for what it means to you. And yes, it's insecurity because if your security, well, it's not security, but your insecurity is expressed as someone else doing what they want to do with their body without your knowledge or permission or approval, then I think we said it earlier. Can you control another adult? No.
No. Mm-mm.
And if you want to be with someone who allowed you to control them out of fear And would you want to be with someone if you felt that they were controlling you, or they would only be with you if you were being the representative they wanted you to be?
Right.
Which means you are self-controlling yourself to meet your imagined expectations of what they want you to be. Hope that
Right.
wasn't too confusion, but you're becoming someone else to appease someone else's ego. You're not
Hmm.
showing up fully as yourself because you're afraid of what this person will do if you don't, and that is the same as control. You're limiting yourself
Right.
instead of really expressing yourself. So yeah,
But
thank you.
Free King, I like that. I like that honesty. That's we need more like that. If you come into a person, you let them know, hey, listen, I need to be with other men, other people while I'm in this relationship. I mean, they either can say yay or nay. So it's up to them to make that decision. So
I
awesome.
think I know why you like communication, Charles, because it
What?
starts with C, like your name.
Uh,
Am I
Hey,
right?
look, man. Honestly, I just like to, get things in the open right away. Stop playing with the bull crap, and you know. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's see. She says also, that's just you. Laugh out loud. I don't know what we
Yeah.
were talking about
That
today.
was when I was like, is it just me with the funnel? Like, yeah, it is. I know it's just
This is
me.
you,
I'm
yeah.
throwing it out there because I bet y'all didn't think about that. Like, what
Uh,
funeral? Where does that come from?
yeah. And then we got Fatimala West. She says, celebration of life. You guys can dance at my party. No doubt. No doubt. Don't tell us that now. And K for Toy says, time is the biggest gift to someone. Yes, it is. Don't waste mine, please. And she, Fatima also says, yeah, when someone acts silly with me, I'm like, what? I'm awesome. That's all you. Okay. Those are our comments for tonight. Awesome
All right.
conversation. We appreciate you guys.
Yes,
Definitely.
we appreciate you. Thank you all for those comments and
Hmm.
questions.
That was a lot there. And we got Dreddy Gal. We haven't talked to her in a minute. She says, appreciate all the great questions and comments as always. Thanks for your point. F okay, I like this. Put point F free king. So she talking about fee, but you put the R in the king. Okay, I like. Okay, go ahead, Jetty. Cool, but listen. At least she was honest. She told him straight from the door. So can't be mad at that.
Can
I wish
you?
somebody was more so straight up like that than they tend to be. But go ahead. What's your name?
I think I used this example before. Human beings, we think human beings are so fragile, but we're really not. They interviewed, let's just say it was 20 people about how this was an experiment done, social experiment.
Okay.
If you were a boss and you had to fire someone, and they brought them into your office, how would you do it? And every one of them said, I would just be like, hey, how you doing? I would be soft. I would like, you want a pillow? I got a pillow for you. You want a blanket? Just lay back, be comfortable. I want to tell you something, but wait, let me get you some tea. Okay. What do you like? Chai? You like almond milk, cashew milk? What do you like? Oat milk? And then I would just say to them, like, first, I'd be like, how's your family? How's everything?
Right.
What's your child's name again? They're growing up so big? Man, it's so, oh wow, 10 minutes later, I just wanted to. I hate to say this, but
Right.
is the temperature okay in here? I mean, it's a little. If you get the blank, I mean, we could put the heater on. So they would just beat around the
Right. Right. Right.
beat around the bush. They asked the same 20 people if they were coming in to be fired.
Right.
How would you want someone to break the news to you?
Hmm.
And guess how every single one of them responded?
What they would just want someone to just tell them they were fired. That's it.
They just want it straight. Just
Yeah,
tell me what it is.
straight lace, right?
It's like, oh, let me pour you another glass of the wine, and I can. You need an Uber? I mean, I can.
Uh,
Where's your phone? I'll order it. The Uber from your phone. You're probably going to not paying for it.
oh man. But
Yeah.
yeah, hey, look, just give me straight, no chaser, man. You know,
So that's what I
stop,
mean.
stop.
Keep
Yeah,
communication clear,
yeah,
concise, straight to the
yep. Get it over with. What you want? You fired. All right, cool. What's up? Then we just go from there.
So thank you, yeah, thank you, Dreddy Gal, for that, and
Indeed.
thank you all for a wonderful evening again.
We got
Okay,
Kate for toys. She says, She says, thanks. I love this kind of conversation. Hey, thanks for tuning in. And, join us. We're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on Feel Good Talk. Nobody Soul Critical. Check us out. Oh, Dawn, what's up? Been missing in action, gal. What's going on? She says, good evening, everyone. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. We definitely appreciate you. And I don't know what Naeem's doing. I don't know if oh God. But anyway. This is awesome conversation, and thanks again, Naeem. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, I'm back. I just got to entertain myself. But yes, thank you all for a wonderful evening. I know I look forward to this every time.
Yes, sir.
And please, if you would like to be on the show, write us and let us know, because we like to have guests live also here in the studio to talk to about things.
Mm-hmm.
And what else was I was going to say? Oh, look at healingtoxicrelationships.com.
Mm-hmm.
The best website domain name ever made for more information on healing toxic relationships. Pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of free and a lot of access to resources. And just a little note about me: everything I write for myself first. I write it because it's the book, the material, the guidance I wish I would have received before about whatever the topic is, whether it's communication, trust, love,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And I don't believe that relationships have to be that complicated. I mean, who would
Mm-hmm.
say, your relationship with your pet is that complicated, right?
Mm-hmm.
You give them what they want, they stick around, y'all have y'all in your relationship with your pet is pretty easy. You don't have to go to so much therapy. Like, man, I can't tell him. My dog still today he needed to be walked. Yesterday, the day before he needed to be walked. I don't know what to do with myself. Like, you kind of understand that, right? What
Right.
the relationship is. I believe and know that relationships with human beings can be simple if you want them to be, and
Mm-hmm.
if you are geared toward simplicity and clarity above complexity and insecurity. I think that rhymes, so we're good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave on that note. So y'all, thank you all for your comments. Y'all make the show. I just show up here. So when I'm fooling around and stuff is because I'm here to have fun. I
Mm-hmm.
can talk all day, but I don't need to do that with y'all. Like y'all talk. But I appreciate that y'all honor and respect my ability or perceived ability to bring value to the idea of healthy relationships, because that means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has to listen to me or come on here or
Mm-hmm.
read any books or whatever. Just because somebody wrote a book doesn't mean they're an intelligent person. Doesn't mean what they're saying makes
Right.
sense. All of my material is geared toward helping you think
Mm-hmm.
for yourself differently. Because everything that I talk about, you already know and have in you, and you can activate it. But sometimes you need a reminder. Like when you lose your keys or misplace your phone or your
Right.
charger or something, and somebody just like, didn't you? Weren't you just in the bathroom? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, I sat him down in the bathroom. Just need a reminder. Your keys are always there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just misplaced it. Sometimes you just need a reminder. And that's what I'm here for, to remind and to encourage and
Mm-hmm.
to appreciate, because of only appreciation is the appropriate response to anyone at any given time, regardless of what the circumstances are.
Hey
Thank
man,
you.
you doing your thing, brother. I respect the hell out of you. You know that. And again, I appreciate.
Appreciate you.
You know what I mean. You don't have to be on here every day, but you come on. You're a sincere person. You're a giving person. I can go on and on about Naeem, like I said, but we're
Please
not
do.
going to do that right now. But again, I appreciate you, brother. And like I said, I appreciate all of our people that tuned in tonight and tuned in every week. You don't have to be here. You don't have to listen to none of this, but you do. So we definitely appreciate that. So again, this is what we do. You know what I mean? And I just want to go over some of these comments right here. We got Fatima West. She says, exactly. The information is information most of us didn't have prior to starting our relationship journey. I've taken a class with Naeem and it was so beneficial. I've even shared with my teenager to help support her in this area of her life. Exactly. Because the kids need to know what real love is, man. And that's the problem. You teach them young, then they won't be confused or misconstrued. You know what I mean? Misconstrued. I'm sorry, misconstrued, however you want to say it. You know what I'm saying? And we got
Yeah.
Kate Toy. She says, yes.
And that's the
Kate
thing,
Toy.
Fatima Love. No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Now, AK for toys, you could come. I want you to come on because I know you. We talked already. So hey, why don't you come on and be a guest one day? We'll talk. And anybody else out there that want to be a guest, you're more than welcome to come on. Just let us know ahead of time, and I'll get you on. And what you saying, Naeem? I'm sorry. Go back.
Let's finish these comments because it was directed at Fatimala's
Okay.
comments. So you can continue.
She says a lot of us have been taught poor relationship skills. That's true because you learn from what you grew up looking at, or from your household, basically. And we appreciate Naeem Najib, Love 101. Yes, indeed.
Appreciate you
He's
too.
the man. He's the man. He's a love doctor. All right.
And I'll close with this. Thank you all. And doctor, as in the doctor that does all the studies, the like the research doc. That's the kind of doctor. Also, the surgeon who will go very deep into something to extract what shouldn't be there and leave what should be there, repair things. That's the kind of doctor. Now, that's the thing what Fatima Love was saying about taking the class. She took Healing Toxic Relationships 101. Notice that everything is called 101 because 101 is like that first introductory class because it's introduction. It's easy. And it's not, and guess what? It's not a 102, 103, 201. It's just 101. It's all 101. Once you learn love 101, trust level 1, communication, healing toxic relationships 101, you got it. There's no more. It's just now use it or don't. And I was going to say, life will give you the test. Like we come not equipped to deal with certain things in relationships, or we have poor relationship skills that we've been taught, like she said. Life will give you the test and then the lesson. My goal is to give us the lessons before we get to the test so we can pass the test with flying colors.
There you go.
That test can be very brutal sometimes.
Awesome. Hey, we got K for Toys says anytime you are ready. Hey, you come on anytime you want, K. I got you. And she said, I want Naeem's info. Knowledge is power. Ooh, I love it. So Naeem, you want to give her your
it's all universal principles. I'm just here to be a conduit. I just understood what she meant. She meant my contact info. All right. I was like, the info, yes, it's about love, healing, toxic. No, okay, I got what you said.
Right. You got it.
Yeah, so you can forward that. You can look on the Facebook page and go through healingtoxicrelationships.com. It's a contact. Yeah, it's a contact button there that will get you into.
And we got that up there too. So she says, give her mine. I will, Kay. And also, like I said, look on the website. Okay. Fatima West says, Kay, can't wait to see you on the show. Yes, indeed. And next matter of fact, Kay coming on next week. I'm putting that out there right now. She'll be on next Wednesday.
Okay? She shouted you out. All right,
it's over. You don't play around here. So next Wednesday, Kay will be on the show. So get ready. So it should be an awesome show as always. So, hey man, learned a lot tonight as always. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And again, thanks for everybody for tuning in. We definitely appreciate y'all. But before we get out of here, we gotta let you know where you can find us. You can find us on LinkedIn at Feel Good Talk, Facebook at Feel Good Talk, YouTube at FGT Mind, Body, Soul, and Business, Instagram at Feel.GoodTalk, and you can email us at feelgoodtalk113@gmail.com. We also have a website at www.feelgoodtalk.net. All right. And also want to give another shout out to our sponsor, The A Game. Before we get out of here, we're going to play a commercial, and we're going to come right back. So if you got any last comments, you want to talk to the Love Doctor, throw them at him right quick. But we'll be right back after this commercial break. Here we go. And again, before we get out here, that's the A Gang, great for vitality, energy, strength, and libido. And to get your free sample, give me a call at 302-723-2836. Again, 723-2836 to get your free sample of the A game. So, hey, Naeem, great conversation. I think we got one more comment here. Fatima West says that's so funny. I always tell men, you are free. You do not belong to me, and I don't belong to you. Freedom is ours. All right. Till he say, "Hey, I'm great. Go see." Never mind. Wait. Hey, look, it was a great show. Hey, look, man. As always, Naeem, you always put it down, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. And oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
I got one more question to end on. Who are you going to appreciate tonight? I don't mean tomorrow, tonight. Who are you going
Tonight.
to
There you go.
share appreciation with? Text, call, write a letter, sing a song, whatever it is.
There
Who are
you
you
go.
going to express appreciation to? And do it.
Awesome,
That's it.
awesome question right there. So again, hey, listen, this is Feel Good Talk Love 101. I'm your host, Charles Break, along with my man Naeem Najib. We'll see you next week. We got K for Toys on here next week. Oh man. See, we don't play around. If you say you want to be on here, we're gonna get you on here. So this is what's gonna go down. So we'll see her next week. Again, we'll see you next week, same time, 7 p.m. right here on Feel Good Talk, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. We're out of here. Peace.
Hey.